So, today, I have a video about the various common weapons that can be found in the shooting range, and I can give some quick overviews of those that can't.
Being a VTuber also has like
Starting off with the basic information, for those of you who don't know how the game handles damage, torso shots do flat damage. They do the base damage of the gun, and then limbs do 3/4 or 75%, and then hand shots will do half damage. Headshots will do double damage, so any number I give will be based off the body shot damage. There's an exception to this, in that shotguns, with the exception of the Rainmaker, deal the same damage to every body part, making it much more important to land more hits rather than better hits. When I give a damage range, I'll be giving the
containers
range at which the initial damage for like point blank damage starts to fall off. The damage immediately falls off too, and then what it finally goes down to at its maximum range.
Somebody got hit in midair. I saw that.
The I'll give a recoil stat, which is based off of standing at a specific spot, how much vertical recoil it has. Horizontal recoil is only noticeable on 2 or 3 guns at 20 meters. The heavy barrel does a 30% increase to damage with no change to recoil.
He went to the middle.
Or at least it's within 10%. The double barrel will give a 70% or a 30% reduction to damage with 2 bullets, making it a 40% increase to total damage. Shots to kill. Shots to kill the torso at point blank range. Rounds per minute are how many rounds the gun will shoot without including reloading in a minute. And time to kill is the time in seconds that a gun will take to kill someone, assuming all the bullets hit the torso. Any shot to the head will remove 1 shot on the torso shots to kill. And since I'm not aware of any open bolt delays, that should be accurate for the guns of the game. So, starting off, we have the FAMAS, just is normal ammo.
Yep.
It has 15.5 damage per bullet up till 40 meters, with the damage dropping off just to 15, and then after 117 meters, it fixes itself at 12 damage per bullet. Its recoil is fairly intense at 23, and it takes 7 shots to kill. The heavy barrel can reduce this to 5 shots to kill, and with the rounding of the decimal damage values, it will be over the 20 cutoff. So in point blank range, the heavy barrel you can kill in 5 shots. It shoots at around 1,000 rounds per minute, and its time to kill is about 0.42, which is fairly average.
It all makes sense.
The AK does 23 damage, a substantial increase from the FAMAS, with that damage going out to 34 meters, and then it drops off to 22 until the 104 meter mark, where it's all the way bottomed out at 19 damage. The recoil is slightly more intense at 26, but due to a slower fire rate, it's slightly easier to control. Though the AK is noticeably very jumpy, as it has a horizontal kick to it, with the higher magnitude kicks due to slower firing rate with the same recoil amount. The heavy barrel does not increase it to a 3 shots per kill, per 3 shots to kill, but the shots to kill do go down by 1 to 4. Double barrel does 16 per bullet.
This guy's for a different team,
And
because he's
but
not dead.
doesn't make it up to 33 or 34, which is the cutoff for
Ooh.
There it goes.
4 shots or 3 shots to kill. With an RPM of 700,
Maneuver.
it comes out to time to kill, assuming every shot hits the torso, of
That's not super
0.426
useful for me if somebody
seconds,
wants to, like, trade
which
for
is
it or
almost
something.
exactly the same as the FAMAS. The M16, the first gun that doesn't
I have some decent
behave the
stuff.
same way as just a full auto gun. It's a burst fire gun with a
I'll take it. I
very,
only have one blessing.
very short
Thanks.
burst delay and very fast rounds in the
Gotcha.
burst.
So you already have that was the
It
tactical.
does 19 damage to the body
Ooh.
per burst, making its shots to kill 6.
Understandable,
So if you hit
understandable.
I am
every
now
bullet in the burst
speed.
to the torso at point blank range, you can kill it in 2
Your
bursts.
friends.
The damage immediately falls off to 18, but it retains that 6 shots to kill until 17 damage. The minimum damage though is 15, which would require 3 bursts to kill, requiring at least 8
Somebody
shots.
else just dropped it over that
Body.
Oh, that was
The recoil,
Oh.
assuming you have no control over
For
it
some
and
reason I
just
expected the
spam
Winchester
fire
to
as
be
fast
one
as
shot.
possible, is 6. Less than
For some reason I expected the Winchester to
a
be
quarter
one shot.
of what the AK or FAMAS have. The
Somebody
heavy
else
barrel
doing
is up to
the northeast? I don't know.
I've got a guy
24.7,
next
still
to
not
me.
enough to 1 burst.
There's a whole other team over there.
And the same for the double barrel. It still requires 2 bursts. Unless you hit them in the head with the heavy barrel, as
Ow.
that requires 3 bullets to hit in total, with 2
Another
of them
guy
being
back
headshots.
here.
With an RPM of 1100, it
Oh my
can
goodness.
theoretically, if you click it as fast as possible, it can kill in
I think you got
0.33
me.
seconds
He-
with 2
Oh, dear.
bursts, or 0.49
No, but
seconds
he hit
with
me hard.
3
There's a
bursts.
grenade over there. I don't even know what
Which
that
is-
grenade did, but I did it.
Very average, but due to its incredibly
I got him.
tight recoil and spray pattern, you should have no trouble hitting people up to
I have a
100 meters.
I have a regen.
And its bullet velocity is fairly standard. The Scar
we
H
should leave. Nicholas.
has a damage of 24.5,
That cardio is really
just under the cutoff for 4 shots to
I've
kill.
got katana, so I am
Though
bouncing
it will
around
say
all over the
25 on a damage analyzer. That's only because it's rounding the value up. You can test this in the shooting range by shooting a dummy 4 times in the chest, and it won't be dead. The damage falls off to 22 off its first fall off, and then down to
No,
20 at
let's look for
102
loot.
meters. This is notably
I
just
found a
under
red dot
20,
at least.
making it still, it drops down to 6 shots to kill at the max range.
I possess a movement speed bonus. But that
The
does not do that
recoil
at
is
all.
only 13 and very vertical. With heavy barrel, it cuts a shot to kill off,
I
putting
hear
it to
a
4,
car.
and the same with double barrel, though it does require
we're
Yeah,
just like
but
over
I'm
here.
also
every
behind
bullet
you guys,
to
so I needed to catch up.
hit of the. Actually, no,
Off
with
rate.
double barrel, it is just over,
Okay.
and it's 3 shots to kill
Yeah.
with
That's fair.
17.5.15. With RPM of 800 or 500, 800 is the AUG. RPM of 500, it has a time to kill of 0.6, which is
There's a
relatively
over there.
slow, but
I'm running around the other way. Forget it.
we're talking 2/10 of a second.
Be in there.
The AUG, which comes
I'm
with
right
a
behind
integrated 4X,
Somebody else directly in front of us
has
that looked at the
18
fight with their
damage.
Team. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with that, it goes down
two
to
teams
17
skirmishing
damage
over.
first, then down to 15 at 96
going?
meters.
Yep.
Its
an
recoil
orbital
is only
strike.
5.5, making it in full
That would be
auto,
the
it
distraction,
effectively
yes.
the same recoil as the M16. The heavy barrel puts it up to
Yeah,
5 shots to kill
guys
from
right up there by
6,
the
and the
rock.
double barrel does the same. The RPM are 800, and the time to kill is
Keep moving it.
0.45, making it
Right.
slightly slower than the AK or FAMAS, but still on par with them. It also has slightly slower bullet velocity than the Scar. The MP44, or the highest damage full auto assault rifle. It deals 34 damage up to 56 meters, which is quite good. Sorry, 45 meters. 56.
I'm getting beat.
With 45 meters, the damage falls off to 33 at 45 meters, making it a 4 shots to kill. But below 45 meters, it will kill in 1 shot to the head and then 1 to the body, or 3 shots to the body. The minimum damage is 27,
They're duking it out.
which
Then we leave them.
still 4 shots, making it a 4-shot kill to the torso at every range. And at point blank, it doesn't cut off a shot to the body with the heavy barrel or the double barrel. The recoil is 38, the highest of the guns we've looked at so far.
Another one coming up.
But due to its slow fire rate of only 400 rounds per minute,
Trying to snipe us.
it is controllable, though it shares a similar bounce to the AK. With a time to kill of 0.45, it's on par with the AUG. It's RPM of 400, but with the same shots to kill and falling off only slightly over range
Me and you keep spawning together.
compared to the 15 damage of the AUG at minimum range, or maximum range. The bar, which is a terrible gun, do not use the bar,
That clown is
does
trying to
33
murder you.
damage to the body,
Like, I'll protect you, Pete.
to 68 meters,
Area
which sounds
64.
amazing,
Pyramid.
but
It's pretty far. I mean, we can make it.
that damage drop off doesn't stop dropping off till 200 meters. This means, though, as with many of the other guns that have incredibly long damage fall-offs, the damage falls all the way off to 17, almost halving the damage dealt at maximum range. And its recoil is 42,
I landed right next to where
with
you did,
the
Isaac, but
entire
I
magazine
rolled
being
out.
spent at about 56. As there's a 40 round mag versus the 25 or 30s that the other
Did
guns
you
have
get
been.
lip beats, Isaac?
With a heavy barrel, it does go down to a 3-shot kill, making it usable. The same with the double barrel.
The...
But its RPMs are the same
It
as
has a
the
different
bar,
sound.
or the MP44, with 400 rounds per minute. And its time to kill is 0.6, on par with the Scar, while having more obstructive iron sights and no real benefits. Though it seems to have no bullet drop. If you plan on using it, aim where you're wanting to aim. It should hit that.
What's a lot easier from the other side?
Then there's the minigun, which does 20 damage per bullet at a rate of 2400. No, sorry, my mistake. The MG42, 20 damage at 1200 rounds per minute, and a recoil of over 80. It goes off my chart. It does 13 damage at maximum range at 200 meters, and 5-shot kills. So it kills in 0.25 seconds, the fastest on the board up till now. Though the minigun does beat it out with a time to kill of 0.175 with 16 damage at close range and 9 damage at long range. You probably
Oh, that
shouldn't be
sounds
trying to use
wall.
the minigun past 20, 30 meters.
And there he goes.
Though the minigun only has a recoil of 34. This is
Yeah.
made
Saber in a soul.
harder to control due to the fact it fires the fastest of any of the guns in the game, aside from
I
possibly
don't
the
know. I grabbed the
Glockinator.
soul.
The Browning M2
Well, he
is,
only had a 6 burr.
in my
so,
opinion,
I mean, he could have stole it.
the worst normal gun in the game. The bar is better damage and has a sustainable recoil. The Browning has a 50 recoil. It does only 20 damage, making it a 5-shot kill. And its irons are garbage.
Blue blood.
800 rounds per minute, it's still
Blood of your
somehow
enemies.
incredibly difficult to control while aiming down sights due to the occlusion of the longer barrel.
Oh, that's what that does.
It's just incredibly difficult.
I threw a
The
saber.
revolver
I right-clicked.
does
You,
32 damage
walked
to the
into
body,
it?
I didn't know
making it
did.
require
Look at that.
2
There's a
headshots
rapier.
to kill, or 4 body shots.
Why am I taking
Point want to aim
I just
for
found
a head
the
and 2
blast
bodies,
off
most
the
likely.
pyramid.
Auto
Somebody dropped in.
crossbow.
Its
Worrying.
damage falls off
Ahead of us.
at 65 meters. Rather good for a one-handed weapon.
That's a lot of bouncy grenade stuff.
The deagle, on the other hand,
I saw a blue out that way.
falls off at 33 meters,
Bouncing.
but has a higher initial
Shot
damage and a
at.
higher final
That's the
damage.
naked guy that dropped in.
With the deagle having 39 damage up close and 23 at range, making it a 3 or 4 or 3 or 5 shot kill, and the revolver gets down all the way to 16, which is a 6 shot kill, or 7 shot kill. The FAL is the highest damage per bullet of the normal ammo guns, with 52, 1 tapping in the head at close range, and 2 tapping in the head at every range, with a minimum damage of 42.
Yeah, you're telling me.
The
I'm probably gonna go down. I got shot at on the way.
FAL has a rate of fire, as far as I
I'm
can
gonna
test,
be
of
right behind you,
250,
Isaac, if I don't make it.
a body shot time to kill of 1.48 seconds. The S7,
Yeah.
the first of the
Oh, maybe.
uncommon, more futuristic
I'm
guns
gonna
with the
heal over here.
laser or light shows in them.
Okay.
Rushing him.
It does 20 damage at
On me.
every range. It has no damage fall off and no bullet drop, with a rate of fire of 535 rounds per minute, and shots to kill 5 on a 4-round burst. Meaning you will always need 2 bursts, and take
He's dead.
0.51 seconds to kill.
Yeah.
The
I threw
M14,
cutlass at him.
it's very similar to the FAL, is a 33 damage
Yes. Whoa, hang on.
semi-auto gun with a
I killed him.
3 shots to kill,
Dude's plan.
Epic
theoretically, with a
charge.
heavy barrel.
Say your catchphrase.
Otherwise,
for movement
it's
speed.
always a
Oh, I gotta
4-shot
relax.
kill with
I mean,
2 shots to the head at any
I don't know.
range.
I don't know either. I needed another blessing, so I'll take it.
The missile
but-
launcher is
Yeah, I
very nice big
spun
ammo gun,
around and just destroyed
with-
him with the musket. Just
which actually, if
You're
you
playing
direct hit
raid?
them,
I have
one
a-
shots
oh,
the
he
body.
behind us.
Car.
With 700 rounds
It's
per
behind
minute,
us.
it
It's,
can
easy.
kill incredibly fast.
Yeah, they're driving around the wall.
With
Hit a
its
tree,
close
stuck.
range explosive damage being 52 if you hit almost directly at their feet,
Almost had it.
or 22 if they're at the edge of the explosion radius.
You guys making friends?
Meaning,
over
if you
I
land
was taking
all your
podcasts.
projectiles
I'll be
so that
real.
they get hit by all the
there? For
explosions,
me?
they will die
For
if they
Pete?
have 100 HP.
Yes. We also don't have.
The other big
zone.
ammo
We should
weapons
start moving.
that are available in the shooting range are the Kar-98, the Winchester, the
Nice.
Garand, the AWP, and the Barrett.
Hey, look, a
The
car.
Kar-98, the AWP, and the
Mhm.
Barrett have identical
Come
ranges,
on, boys.
with the Barrett taking 10 less damage at every range, due to its semi-auto nature, I assume.
Game.
They
And we're just gonna
Have-
immediately ditch the car.
very similar stats, with the AWP being a Kar-98 with double the magazine size, and the Barrett sharing the
I don't know
magazine
what that
size
is,
and
but it
just
looks
becoming
fancy. Shield grenade. Cool.
semi-auto with the AWP. The Winchester and the Garand function very similarly as
Got
well,
it.
with the Winchester having a higher long-range damage, but falling off faster to that, whereas the Garand maintains its long-range damage up to an astounding 17 meters. Both of these guns only have their high damage at close range, and
Ah,
they are
I missed my jump.
the same at longer ranges. Both of them 3 tapping to the body or 2 tapping to the head,
Yeah.
with the 1 taps to the head in this case being reserved for the Kar 98 with its 78 damage, or the Opera Barrett. Getting into small ammo weapons,
I think we shouldn't try and
the
hang out here long.
VSS, the VSS Ventores Special Sniper. It does 23 to the body.
Anyone want an 8x?
With a damage fall off of 57 meters, and goes all the way out to 85 meters, where it drops down to 18 damage. This is always a 5 or 6 shot kill, meaning it always 3 taps to the head, with a recoil of 7.
I think I just got shot at from behind us.
Oh, there's another team.
And you can hit people incredibly reliably out to very long ranges. The main downside of the VSS is its slow bullet velocity.
Okay.
If you have a 4x or the integral 4x on it, to aim at someone 200 meters out, you have to go halfway down the scope, so they're floating just in the free area below the scope and above the barrel.
Shelled all the way over.
But it's still one of the best rifles of the small ammo in the game. It has an RPM of 650, kind of disgraces the VSS, which is like 900. But with 650, it kills in 0.46 seconds, very, very on par with the other guns, assuming you don't hit headshots. But with small recoil, the only downside being if you use it close range, it only has 20
I have
rounds
a
in the
spare
magazine.
8x as well.
Unfortunate, but
I want a red dot or something for this P90.
it's still very good. Now, the MP5K, garbage. It does 17 damage.
Do we want to try heading up to these houses?
It takes 6 shots to kill it. Close range, the only range you should be using it.
Are fighting closer to
It's
the
20 recoil, but with 800 rounds per minute, that can be very hard to
There's a guy
use.
jumping across.
With 20 rounds in the magazine, it
Thank you.
is very difficult to use.
Oh.
It's really only if you are trying to get guns early and want to deal with your fast drop
I also need
or hot
normal,
drop
so I will take
payloads. The damage drops off to 7 at 63 meters, which is a trend you will notice in a lot of the small ammo guns. Their damage drops off very far to half of their normal damage, versus the normal ammo guns usually drop off only about 30 to 40%.
I need some.
Okay, so the Vector is a bit different from the MP5K in that while it has 5 more rounds in the magazine, it deals just under 20 damage. And with its higher fire rate and much less significant recoil at 12, it does have some horizontal spray to it due to its inaccuracy. It kills very quickly at 0.4 seconds, though you have to be aware it has a similar amount of bullet drop to the VSS.
I'm almost
and
done.
Interestingly, damage falls off very quickly. It almost hits a wall in its damage and drops down to 8.
Yep.
Should I just throw everything in the
past
kitchen sink
57.
at them? I got a couple nades.
For the P90, it does 16 damage with 50 rounds in the magazine and 1,000 rounds per minute, making it kill at 0.42 seconds, and falling down to 8 damage at very long ranges. Though the interesting thing to note about P90 is it actually shoots high. If you're shooting at ranges beyond 50 meters, you actually need to aim below your target, so because the bullets launch up. If you shoot this gun without any recoil mods, it will feel like the shots are coming out after the recoil impulses the gun, which doesn't make much sense, but it's how it works. The same can be true of the PBS-H, which does the same damage, slightly weaker range, but has slightly more recoil at 40, and fires at 900 rounds per 1,000, killing it for 6
That was close. That was close.
The UB-45 deals 23 to the body, tied with the Thompson,
I was kind of
and drops down to 9 at 56 meters.
It's great.
It has a
unless you
recoil of
miss.
29, which
I
is
gotta get food.
fairly
That's
decent
fair.
for the SMGs.
I'll be back on later.
But due to its
Oh.
very busy iron sights, it can be hard to shoot with. It has fires at 600 rounds per minute, which is fairly slow for a SMG, and takes 0.5 seconds to kill to the torso. Notably, it has to drop down to 20 to lose that 0.5 second time to kill, so it operates a bit further out than some of the other SMGs. The MP40, or the highest damage SMG, deals 36 to the body, allowing it to 3-tap to the torso. If you land a headshot, it will kill in one head, one body. The MP40 falls off 31 meters and falls off directly to 32, losing its great time to kill. And at ranges past 55 meters, it only deals 14 damage, making it inferior to every AR or assault rifle firing normal ammo, with the exception of the FAMAS, which deals 12, but that's only at 100 some meters. So SMGs are not intended for long range. Shocking. The Thompson deals 23 damage, with the range only going to 21 versus the 24 of the UMP. But with 30 rounds in the magazine, you can fire for a bit longer. It also fires slightly faster at 740 rounds per minute, making it kill in 4.4 seconds. The AK-74U is actually my favorite SMG, because unlike the Thompson or UMP, which have 29 recoil for their good damage, the AKU has 18 damage, making it kill in 6 shots, one weaker than the M1A1. But it shoots at 829 rounds per minute, making it kill in the same time frame of 0.43 seconds. And it has almost no recoil, with 13 vertical recoil throughout its 30 round mag, which is very controllable. There's a slight inaccuracy similar to the Vector, but in ranges under 50 meters, it shouldn't be noticeable. Getting into the pistols, the or one-handed SMGs and pistols, the Luger deals 36 damage to 25 meters. This is very good, as it one taps to the head, then body, so one head, one body, or shoots 3 times in the chest. But as with all the other pistols, it loses damage incredibly quickly after 25 meters and drops down to 14 damage after 50 meters, with it falling up very quickly in that time. The Glock 18C is a full auto pistol that does 12 damage, making it take 9 shots to kill out of its 25 round mag, and with its recoil of 2.5, that's not hard to hit if you're close range. It shares similar damage fall off with the other pistols, except it has 5 damage after falling off all the way, meaning you have to hit 20 out of your 25 rounds in the magazine. And if you are dual wielding it, you literally cannot kill someone in the entire mag at 50 meters. The 1911 functions similarly to the Luger, firing at 26 damage at 400 rounds per minute. The Luger only fires at 180, so it's very slow, killing in 1 second with 3 shots to the body. The 1911 kills in 0.6 seconds, versus, the Glock killed in 0.41, but landing all 9 shots is very unlikely. 1911, 2 taps to the head, which would let it kill in 0.3 seconds. Actually, arguably 0.15 if you consider the time to kill to start at 0 versus after the first shot. But its damage falls off to 25 and then all the way down to 13 at 39 meters, making it fall off in a shorter distance than the Luger. The Tech 9 is one of the slower firing SMGs, which can be fired one-handed. It fires at 500 rounds per minute at 19.5 damage. It says 20, but it will kill in 6 shots at every range until it falls off to 8 damage at 84 meters. And has a 0.72 time to kill, which is quite bad. The Mac 10 deals 10 damage, firing at 1500 rounds per minute, the fastest of all the SMGs. The exception of the Glockinator, which I did not test. It deals 10 damage, then 9, and all the way down to 4, which is abysmal. It kills in 10 shots, and has a 0.4 time to kill, with an incredibly nice sounding recoil of 7, but 10. But instead of being entirely vertical, it sprays horrifically to each side, making it incredibly hard to use at long range without an accuracy barrel and some sort of way to reduce its bullet drop, as it's also pretty bad. And the last of the small ammo guns, the Beretta 93R, is a 3-round burst. And it fires 3 rounds, 16 damage, making it kill in 3 bursts, up to 25 meters, killing in 0.75 seconds. Taser deals 10 damage, stuns people, just shoot them with something else. Taser crossbow, arguably a worse crossbow. It, instead of dealing 130 damage, it deals 30 and then tases them. Any range you're using a crossbow at, that'll be very hard to follow up on. The Taser musket, a bit more useful. Instead of doing the 30 damage, it deals 90. But it has worse drop off than a Taser, and any way to make it shoot further occults the view you need to see. Musket, 101 damage at close range, falls off at immediately below its one-shot kill potential at 10 meters, but always 2 taps, 1 shots to the head at any range. Very hard to hit at long range due to the fact that aiming past like 100 meters is, you have to aim below the barrel, making the enemy often off the screen, even with a fast barrel. 80 meters is my note here. The musket, 1 taps to the body up till 150 to 170 meters, and then remains at 98 for the rest of the distance. The double barrel does take each bullet below a 1 tap, though, so that is something to be aware of. The blunderbuss deals 26 damage per pellet, and as with all shotguns, it doesn't have body multipliers, so you have to hit with 4 pellets up till 26 meters, and at 26, you're right on the line of hitting 4 or 5 pellets. It is possible to use it as almost a slug shotgun at longer ranges, but it will 2-tap, and you require a lot of accuracy bonuses, which will tighten the spread of a shotgun. You would require almost probably 1 legendary, an accuracy barrel, and maybe a common. That would probably be enough to get it tight enough. At that point, though, you're shooting 3 shots, so it's reasonable. Rainmaker does 8 damage to the body, falls up to 3 per pellet, and it shoots 5 pellets. Mossberg, 1 taps under 4 meters, loses the 1 shot when a hit drops to 11, and with its 7 pellets, it can deal 21 damage at longer than 16 meters. None of the shotguns are worth using past 16 or so meters. A 12 does 7.85 per pellet at 7, takes 2 shots to kill. Sawed-off does 11.75 per pellet at 8 pellets. Takes 1 shot to kill at point-blank range. The Arnold deals 8.242, dealing slightly more than the A12, but firing slower as it's not full auto. Crossbow is 130 with no damage fall off. None of the crossbows have damage fall off. And with a heavy barrel, it does enough damage in 1 body shot to kill someone with epic health. Double barrel loses the one-shot potential, but with all the one-shot weapons, the double barrel is interesting because it allows you to have much better chance of hitting someone that's moving side to side, or that if your aim isn't astounding. Balloon crossbow and firework crossbow are damage and range-wise identical. They both fire at 75 or 600 rounds per minute with 3.5 damage. You need to land 3 entire mags into someone to kill them. Auto crossbow, actually surprisingly good. Its problem is it uses bolts, which are one of the rarest ammo, and if you were just using a crossbow, you'd be one-tapping them. But with 14 rounds in the mag, it's dangerous with its 3-tap potential at every range due to crossbows not having any fall off. The hand crossbow also has no fall off and does 91 to the body, meaning it kills in the head in any range and can easily be followed up. Personally, heavy barrel hand crossbow sounds hilarious. Gosbow is stellar, dealing 126 with a torso shot minimum. It's a 63 to the body, 65 to the body, and then estimated 61 from the explosion. The 60 is at the edge of the explosion radius, so it could be upwards of 150 damage to the middle of it, similar to the rocket launcher. And getting into the melee weapons, the Viking Axe does 37.5, the most of any of the one-handed melee weapons. And notably, when you right-click, the swinging animation that does is to throw out the ice wall does do damage. It swings at 87 swings per minute, and it has a 2-second time to kill. Really, that's closer to 1 second because most melee attacks hit the head if they're standing up. The saber does 34 damage, but it does about 50 damage with his right-click torrent, and with the easy follow-ups of someone being stuck in the air. The saber is a great backup tool, especially if you haven't found any guns yet. You can throw it where you know people will be, and it'll cause a lot of chaos. Rapier is probably the only one-handed melee you will use to specifically kill people, with its 1-second charge time being able to kill a stationary player within about 10 meters. Katana, as with the other two-handed weapon of the Jarl's Axe, feels like it always one-taps. It deals 78 damage to the torso. Because of its very vertical swing pattern, it almost always hits head. Its charge deals 39 damage and takes 1.45 seconds to charge up, approximately. The Jarl's Axe does significantly more damage at 117 to the body, which means even an arm shot deals 80 damage. The slam does 40, meaning if you slam onto someone and then manage to land axe swing, it should kill them no matter where you hit them. They'll be left with like 2 HP if you hit them in the hand or toe. And that's everything.